Welcome to Bougie and Boring, a spa business podcast. I'm Amanda, your coach and a fellow spa owner. I help estheticians create a business that is elevated and effortless, or what I like to call bougie and boring. If you want a spa that pays you well and does not depend on you 24/7, you're in the right place. Let's get right into it. Hello, spa owner, and welcome back to this episode of Bougie and Boring. Today, I'm going to talk to you about paying yourself more. Something that I feel like a lot of spa owners don't talk about. And once I started talking to other spa owners, this was like before I was coaching, I would talk to other spa owners about how much money they were bringing home. And I mean, these women were bringing home like 5 figures, and not just like $10,000, like the bare minimum 5 figures. And this is per month, by the way. 5 figure, like well into the 5 figures of they were taking home every single month. And I was like, hold the phone. I can do that. Like I can take that money home. What the heck? And so then I went on this like long journey of how I can pay myself more and how I can make sure that I am paying myself what I know I deserve and what I want and all the things. And so now I help other spa owners do the same thing. For a really long time, I will admit, I did not pay myself a single penny from my business. Not one penny. And this is not something that I am like proud of. I will not say that it's something that I'm ashamed of at all, because it got me to this point, right? It got me here to this point where I am so fiercely like I fiercely defend what I pay myself and what I take home. And I see it so often where we are just constantly giving. Like the owners are constantly giving to everyone else but themselves. It's like the cobbler's shoes, right? Or like, sorry, not the cobbler's shoes. There's an old saying, right? The cobbler's kids have no shoes. It's talking about the person who makes shoes for everyone else that still just can't seem to make shoes for their own family. So this is definitely something that is much more common than I think people admit to, but it needs to be talked about. It really, really needs to be talked about. So, you see this big, beautiful spa that you've created. You're so proud of it. You're so proud of the team that you've built. It's such a beautiful, wonderful, supportive team. But then at the end of every month, you're like, what the heck? Where did all my money go? Where did it go? And so knowing your numbers is something that you have to create a really solid method around in order to allow your money to support you, right? It's just like another team member, right? Your finances, your money is a tool that you're going to use to support you and your whole business. So, the first thing that I'm going to mention that a lot of people don't do is they don't treat their own pay like an expense. It's a little bit different, right? Because we pay ourselves from profit if you're a sole proprietor in the United States. I don't know what it's like in Canada, but I can say for the US for sure, if you are not an S Corp, then you are paying yourself from owner's draw, right? You pay yourself from profit. And if you're a sole proprietor, you need to pay yourself a reasonable salary, which your CPA should give you that number. And then you can also take an owner's draw. And all too often, I am seeing wonderful spa owners who are not treating what they pay themselves as a line item on their expenses, right? And it's interesting because like sometimes I'll get a spa owner that's like, wait a second, Amanda, I'm not an expense though. I am the owner. And it's like, okay, yeah, I understand that, but this business would not be here if it was not for you. And you're doing this to get paid. You have this incredible business that you have built from the ground up, and now it's time for you to get paid like the spa owner and CEO that you are of your business. Okay. One thing I'm going to start off by saying is that every spa owner, actually every business really should have a CPA that they love and trust. I adore my CPA. He is wonderful. And exactly, like, he responds so quickly to all of my emails, and he doesn't treat me like I'm dumb. I can ask any question that I want. He's wonderful, and I interviewed him. I've definitely He's not my first or second or third CPA, but he is my CPA that I have stuck with the longest, that I have seen the best return on investment, and the one that I feel so supported by. And I recommend him to everyone locally that I know. Typically, when you are using a CPA, they also have a bookkeeper. So if you can have them be your bookkeeper. However, if you are small enough, I recommend that you do your bookkeeping at least a little bit so that you can see what's going out. Are you actually using that expense? And where are you spending money that is not giving you a return on investment? A lot of us come from behind the treatment table, right? We've worked so hard to be an esthetician first and build the clientele and perfect our craft and our talent. And then we eventually took the leap into ownership and tried to figure out all the business side of things. And I mean, this is incredible. If you think about it, you are doing something so incredible. The financial piece of all of this is just something that we're not taught about. And it's something that a lot of spa owners struggle with for years. I mean, it's why a lot of businesses don't make it past 5 years. It's because of the financial part of things, right? And it's not to say that, it's not a reflection of how smart you are. It's just, the cracks that are in your business already. You don't want to scale until you have filled in all of those cracks and gaps in your business. And this is one of those areas that I see such an opportunity for so many spa owners is in what you're paying yourself. So something that I like to start with is knowing how much you need to take home. Because if you know how much you want to take home, you can then incorporate it into your monthly finances and then build from there. I have this whole method that I use. It's called a profit protection number. And it's basically what you keep in your bank account every single month. And I have this whole process to it. It's amazing. It's essentially like the same concept. If you've ever heard of the saying, pour from your saucer, there's a saying where you want your cup to be full. They say don't pour from an empty cup, but you do want to fill your cup in such a way that it runneth over, right, onto the saucer. And you want to take what is in the saucer, and that is what you pour into other people, into other areas of your business, into yourself, again, if you want to, right? And so, I don't know, maybe I should call this the saucer method. I don't know. But like, do you get what I'm saying? Where this is something that I teach my coaching clients about that allows them to pay themselves exactly what they want to pay themselves and very clearly shows you if you can afford something extra or not. So figure out what you want to pay yourself and then build a system around that. Build a method of your numbers and your finances around that number. And this number that you want to pay yourself, it's not like don't be vague about it, right? So like, for example, for a really long time, so I have two under two right now, and like life is crazy, but I needed a van really bad. Like, I need to push one button and everything opens up. I need to be able to push a button and everything closes. Like, I needed that. I needed that. And so I knew that I needed to trade in one of my cars, get a van, and so because of that, I then had to reverse engineer what that would look like, right? And I don't know what I need to take home until I know what I want, what I need, right? I know another thing too, like, we want to have a home with a pool. And our home currently doesn't have a pool, but that's something we want for ourselves one day. And so taking that into consideration and like putting it in to our monthly finances is getting very specific with it, right? We're getting as specific as we possibly can so that we know exactly what we're going to be bringing home and how much we need to bring home as a household, right? So, what I ended up doing when I was in this situation where I wasn't paying myself and I was like, well, shoot, like, how booked does my team need to be, and how, like, where do my numbers need to be priced at, and what does my profit percentage need to be? And so I created a spreadsheet. I was like, let's reverse engineer this. What are the levers I can pull, the buttons I can push? What do I need to do in order to make this a reality? And so that's what I created this spreadsheet to show me how I can pay myself more. And it's linked down below if that's something that you're interested in. But what I love about it is it starts with what you want to take home, not what you currently have, but what you want. And then you enter in your desired monthly pay, your team hours, your average service per hour, and then it basically works, it reverse engineers everything to show you what you need to bring in every single month, your spa needs to generate in top line revenue, what your booking percentage needs to be. So you need to know how many hours your team is available to see clients in order for the spreadsheet to work properly. But then you know, okay, this is the number. This is the number that I have to get my team booked to in order for me to hit my goal. So remember, if you have a team, I am of the belief that you are getting them the clients, but they are keeping the clients there with good bedside manner, great results, rapport, relationship, connection, right? And so by doing that, okay, if this particular gal, let's say this esthetician has a new client retention of 80% and she has a total client retention of 95%, and she gets 3 new clients a month, which if you're building their books, then that should actually be much higher. It'll probably be like 8 to 10 new clients a month is about average for every esthetician. And so you want to have that in mind, then you'll know how to reverse engineer it so that, okay, if she has this many new clients and her new client retention is at 80%, it's going to take this many months for her to get booked to 80%. Maybe that's something I should add into this calculator. I don't know. I have a separate calculator for that, or a separate spreadsheet for that. Maybe I should just combine them. I might do that one day. I can't do it right now, but I can. But the point of this is to stop guessing and to stop hoping, something that I kept doing. And I don't want you to fall into the same trap where I kept wishing and hoping. Not wishing and hoping. Those aren't the right words. It was more like, oh, this next thing, this is going to be it. This is the big break, or this is my big thing that I'm doing, and it's going to solve all of my problems, and I'm going to wipe out all of my issues with this one big break that I get. And I kept thinking that year after year after year. And it's been over 8 years since I've owned my spa, and it's like, okay, well, that hasn't happened yet. So clearly, it's not just something that happens. It's something that I have to work for and plan for. And this calculator is what helped me to do that. It helped to make me aware, wow, my team needs to be at least this percentage booked in order for me to bring home what I need to bring home to survive in my own life. And then you can go even further with it to know what you need to bring home, or what your team needs to be booked for in order to bring home. And you can, mess around with a lot of numbers, like your dollar per hour, and hopefully your profit percentage is at least 15%. I try to keep mine above 20%, and it will tell you, the calculator will turn red, and it'll tell you that your current hours or pricing, or the pay goal that you have set for yourself isn't reachable yet, which means that you know exactly what you need to work on, right? So you raise your average service rate, you adjust your team's hours. This tool literally points out to you what lever you need to pull, because the thing about the cobbler's shoes is you already know, you already have everything you need to build your shoes, to pay yourself. You just haven't built this one for yourself yet, right? You're really good at owning a spa, and now it's time to be really good at paying yourself. So this calculator is the first step to that. Go grab it in the show notes or in the description down below. Fill it out. If you track your numbers monthly, this should literally take you less than 2 minutes, and then come back and see where we keep going with this and how we continue to build on it. So take care, my friend. I'll see you next week, and happy calculating. If you enjoyed this episode, then you'll really enjoy my free training where I show you the exact system that I use in my own spa to pay myself more. Head on over to amandaluisaconsulting.com/more to download today. I'll see you next week on Bougie and Boring.